Hey guys, Jason here for TheChartGuys, taking a look at some TCG ticker requests. These are tickers that members of the community ask us to take a deeper look at. Closer look at, deeper look at, closer look at. Anyway, today we're looking at KIRK, NIO, and ZM. We're going to start with KIRK. Obviously, bulls are in full control of this, and we have been overbought on the daily time frame since August. Well, when did we get overbought? Basically August 1st. July 29th, we were plus 70 on a daily RSI, and we've been climbing pretty steady, still hitting higher highs on our price and our RSI, so no bearish divergence on the daily time frame. But we got to be paying attention to when this turn is going to come, because if we go to the weekly, we can see that we have been, wow, what a tear. Basically since 83 cents, now it's $7. So there is going to be consolidation on the weekly time frame. When it comes, we don't really know, but we're going to be keeping a close eye on it. So you should be bullish on this until we see a change. And first of all, it's going to show up on the smaller term time frames. On the daily time frame, we've got a series of daily supports, 377. And then I would also look at probably this range, 586 on the daily time frame for that consolidation. So if bulls stay above 586, we're going to be just fine on the daily time frame. We zoom into the 4-hour time frame, we can see where this support comes from. We have a series of supports above that we can rely on. And right now, our 4-hour higher low is 653. So we have a clear 4-hour uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. The daily time frame is strong, overbought with no bearish divergence. So no real red flags yet, other than the fact that we anticipate some pullback on the weekly time frame. Now we're going to go in and look for when does the story change. On the hourly time frame, we can see that we hit higher highs. We got a little bit of a whipsaw. Anything above 653 is going to maintain hourly higher lows. So now what we're going to expect is going to be upside continuation. As long as we stay above or largely above our EMA 26, we're going to be okay. If we lose 653, then we're going to be looking for 4-hour consolidation, because that will be a loss of 4-hour support. We're going to go to the daily time frame and look for a higher low on the daily above 586. If we maintain that, bulls will be in control and maintain the pace that they have been setting so far. We'll lose 586. Let's take a look at what that would look like. Drop 586, go back to the weekly time frame. Now we've got our first major pullback, and probably we'll be establishing our first attempt at a higher low. Is this the place we would find that occurring? Probably not. Since we've been running since 75 cents, we have so much work to do and so much room to do it in that there could be considerable pullback. So if you are in a long position on KIRK, I would be first watching for the loss of 4-hour higher lows with a loss of the key support. The most important one, 586. NIO on the daily time frame. Quite a bit of back and forth. I'm going to jump to the 4-hour because I want to make sure that I'm catching all of the action from these wicks. And I'm going to grab that resistance at 1644. I'm also interested in the high here at 1590. Going to the daily time frame to see how this plays in. Right now, this is today's candlestick, absolute bearish control. Earnings related, no doubt. So we're going to see some downside momentum. We go to the 4-hour time frame. We can see that this is still following through from yesterday's action. We do have a little touch of support in the area. Let's adjust that so we're actually getting the correct magnet levels. 1299, so 13 psychological. We just dropped below that to 1294, and bulls bounced a little bit. So there is some confidence here. We'll be watching this level closely, and what we're going to look for is lower highs and lower lows, not on the hourly time frame, but on the 15. Go to the 15-minute time frame. We can see where that clarity comes in. Nice little 15-minute oversold bounce into a close to EMA 26 test. Now we are looking for lower highs, lower lows. Bit of a tightening range here in after hours between our high and low. So looking for one of those two things to break. Still being able to rely on our 13 psychological level for now. If we can get a nice 15-minute trend change, we may see a little bit of a bounce. Not quite an hourly oversold. We're not quite there yet. But there is some bounce potential. I would suspect if we're going to see any sort of consolidation pattern, we'd be looking for a 4-hour bear flag at this point. So we'd be looking for a little bit of an upside move, probably to about 1350. And then downside continuation because, just a lot of momentum here on the daily time frame. And we've lost daily higher lows as well. Checking out ZM on the daily time frame, another name with a lot of downside right now. Getting close to oversold. On the daily, we are at 37.52. And we go to the weekly time frame, try to find some support, support in sight. Okay, great. So back to the daily time frame. What is our next low? The next thing that we can really rely on here, as far as daily time frame support goes, is going to be the low from our, what's that candle? Covering up our calendar, of course. That is June 12th. So bearish momentum. Next support 216.75. We've knocked out all of our daily support so far, and on the 4-hour time frame, there may be a little bit in this area, and there's really not. Okay, so it's all going to be about the RSI oversold levels tampering or tampering. So what are those words? The unmitigated thus far advance of the bears. We are oversold on the 4-hour time frame, not quite oversold on the daily. Hourly time frame has got a nice 1226 downtrend, so we're going to look for a continuation, lower lows, lower highs up until that 216.75 test. You can try to draw in a little bit of a trend. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I think this is going to be one of those cases where we're going to have to go to the supports to see if that makes more sense. So we're going to go grab our support levels, and then what we'll do is just draw a nice little channel like that, see how much the price action respects these two levels, and then we're going to look for an hourly trend change or support at 216.75 to stop the bleed on the daily time frame. I would be interested in a little bit of a bounce at that point because we are oversold. And in fact, on the hourly time frame, we are starting to see some bullish divergence with our lower lows and higher lows on the RSI. So again, looking for a hourly trend change. Right now, I need to see bulls break over 239.28, which would have us outside our little trend line as well, and positioning for a little bit of a bounce after this bearish attack 4 days in a row. That's it for today. If you're interested in learning more about charts, send me an email, support@TheChartGuys.com. I'll send you some resources, point you in the right direction. I'll help you however I can. Have a good day, guys. See you tomorrow.